Hey, DeSean, long time no see. How you doing?
I'm good. So how you doing?
All right. Well, since they have me going first, I guess I have to ask about the aftermath of your social media posts this summer. What's going on with that? What have you been doing to you know uh, fulfill the requirements that the Eagles laid out for dealing with that and so on?
Uh, man, honestly, the aftermath of everything has been, a slight, long process, but been just using the time to educate myself and, really just man up to, you know, the actions I took. And the biggest thing I can say is just educate and learn from it. Over the past few months, I kind of had to kind of reflect on, just life and just, you know, people make mistakes in life, and it was just a mistake I made, and I had to own up to it as a man, and which I did. But I think I'm taking the proper steps, and educate myself and learning from something I didn't really know too much about.
What have you learned about this? What would you say you've the biggest thing is that you brought from this experience?
I mean, honestly, just really knowing what it is that you're putting out there in the world. You get what I'm saying? Social media can be used, for a horizon number of things, and what I choose to use it for on that day obviously brought some bad light, to myself. So, just really knowing the ins and outs of kind of what to post, what not to post, just how to be careful about what you post, and that's the number one thing I've learned from it. But just controlling, what you can control and what you put out there in the world. Obviously, can be judgmental or can put you on a different spotlight. So just kind of understanding what you put out there sometimes might not be the best stuff.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Tim, and then John Clark.
Shauna, Jeffrey Lurie said that you've done everything that's been asked of you in that respect. So what have you done? What are some of the things that you've done?
Honestly, man, I've done numerous things. I think everything I've done has been out there. Once again, situation I learned from. I'm not gonna, sit here and make this the topic of discussion because, I owned up to it and, said my apology and I've took the proper steps to enlighten myself and learn on it. I want to take the time to, you know, say, it's a lot of things going on in this world, and I just feel like, my voice is to be heard, and obviously with the situations that we're dealing with, in the community, that I was raised in the Black Lives community. It's a lot going on in the world that we're living today. So, I don't want to take the time away from, me playing football and some of the serious topics that I'm working on, and my communities and where I come from. So, if you can, let's talk about football. Or let's talk about some of the, social injustice things that's going on out there in the world today.
Yeah, can I ask you just a quick follow-up on that, DeSean? Is it hard with you being such an advocate for what's happening with the Black Lives Matter movement and being so focused on that? Is it hard to be kind of focused on the two areas at once?
No, not necessarily. I feel like one is not more important than the other. I think every topic is important. You get what I'm saying, and you just have to try to focus your time on the importance of what it is that you're trying to accomplish in the world today. And myself, I feel like I've been a stand-up guy in my community and where I come from to go into those areas that are uncomfortable for a lot of people. And I'm a front liner. I'm a front runner. I go in there and I try to help change the communities around by investing in my communities. Helping with education reform. Building in relationships with the police officers. Trying to talk to city councils and just kind of understand how can we bridge them gaps. So once again, I try to shed light on, the George Floyd situations, the Breonna Taylors, and, many more is out there that's lost their lives. And, Jacob Blake, is paralyzed. So, it's just a lot of work we have, to do. And I think, the process still goes today. It's not nothing that's, goes unnoticed. And I'm going to be a firm believer that, we got to continuously, move the button, and whatever we can do as one, we can come together regardless of color or regardless of race. It's a fight. We're all fighting together.
Go ahead, John Clark, and then John McMullen.
Hey, DeSean, just how hungry are you going into this season after missing most of last year in your return here to Philadelphia, and also maybe taking more of a leadership role with a lot of the young guys that they brought in here, that some of them were thrilled to meet you for the first time and look up to you?
Yeah, man, no, it's definitely intriguing situation for me, man. To go through what I went through last year and just be a front runner to sit back and watch my guys go through a tough season, and I wasn't able to go out there and and battle with my teammates was the thing that hurt me the most. Just because once again I know what I'm capable of doing when I'm healthy and I'm out there on that field, what I bring to this team, and these young guys, man, they've been showing nothing but fierce competitive natures. Man, they work hard. They're loving to ask questions, the uncomfortable questions. You get what I'm saying? Because I feel like a lot of young guys coming up in this league, they're given the spotlight right away, depending on draft status or whatever the case may be. But, it's something you got to earn in this league, and that doesn't go, unnoticed. So the biggest thing I can tell these young guys to do is just go out there and earn whatever it is you want. And, I look forward to Sunday, man. This has been a long time coming. It seems like the season. It's been taking forever to come, but, we're, a couple days away now.
Go ahead, John McMullen, and then Jeff McLean.
Hey, DeSean, you kind of mentioned last year didn't go the way you wanted, obviously physically. So how are you feeling, and when did you get sort of feeling like yourself in the off season?
Man, I'm feeling great, man. Like I said, once again, it's been a long off season for me. I've got surgery in November, so November, December, obviously January, kind of was very tough for me, man. I fought my butt off to work and prepare myself just in case we did have that second round of the playoffs. I was planning on coming back if we'd have won the Seattle game, but unfortunately it didn't work out that way, and I was able to get extra time and rehabbing and kind of just taking a step back just to refocus on what it is that my body needs. And me to take a whole year off, that was the first year I've ever missed like almost a full season of so just kind of had to refocus, stretching, implemented a diet, eating the right foods, and really just taking the time to take care of my body, man, because I feel like my first 10, 11 years, there's a lot of stuff that I didn't have to do that I have to do now. So I'm just taking extra time out to stretch and, prepare my body for this long haul season.
Go ahead, Jeff, and then Zach Berman.
DeSean, since we haven't spoken to you in almost a year, can you walk us through the decision to not have surgery in September and to delay it until November?
I mean, I just took the proper, precautionary reasons. I took the advice from my doctors, here, and, it was a lot of uncertainty with that injury, man. The injury I suffered, never having surgery before, never knowing what that process was like. So, I think it was a correlation of, the doctors, myself, and, my team as well, too. Speaking of my team, my trainers back home and, people I've been working with my whole life that knows my body. So, it was just something I tried to just rehab without surgery. And, if I could do it all over again, I probably would get surgery the first time around. But, you live and you learn. And like I said, I never had surgery before, so I didn't know how that worked out. But that injury, the core injury, is something very different. I never really experienced that before. But knowing what I know now, y'all have probably did it earlier.
Go ahead, Zach, and then Mike K.
Hey, DeSean, in seeing what the team missed without you in there, like did that reinforce your value to this team? And what's it going to take for you to stay healthy this season?
Well, I think to answer your first question, I've been a firm believer that when I'm healthy and what I'm capable of doing, I feel like my track record speaks for itself. Obviously, I've been very fortunate and very blessed to play 12 seasons, going on my 13th at a very high level, and to do some things not few was done in this league. So I take credit for that. Putting in the hard work and having guys early in my career like the Andy Reeds, the Marty Morningwigs, Derek Culley's, the guys that was around and coached me at an early age. They implemented something in me, and I still carry that to this day. And going forward, the biggest thing I can say, man, is to be able to stay healthy, man. You got to take care of your body. It doesn't come down to anything else. You have to know when to push it, and you kind of have to know when to, take it down a little bit. So I think like we have a great plan with Ted Rath here, with the strength coach, and Tom, in the training facility, and obviously with Doug. I think we're all on one page, which is to keep me healthy and figure out how we can manage my plays and my reps so I can be playing in December and January.
Go ahead, Mike, and then Ruben.
Hey, DeSean, you bring up Marty. I happen to notice that you talked a lot and kind of had a lot of conversations during training camp on the sideline. What has he meant to your career? What did he mean early on in your career? And I also noticed that he's talking a lot to Jalen Hurts, who you have a good relationship with. How can he help a young player at this point in their career kind of blossom into something bigger?
Man, Marty Morningwig, man, I feel like, man, we got a special person with him in the building, man. Like, he's, man, me and him together, not only me and him, Coach Reed as well, too, man. Like, I tell these young guys all the time, like, man, they implemented the DeSean Jacksons of the world because, my first 3-4 years in Philly, man, like, all the big plays that we put on the film and put on tape and I scored on, man, was, a little bit of him and Andy Reid sitting in the meeting rooms and trying to figure out ways to get me the ball down the field. So, a lot of my success, man, definitely he gets a lot of credit for it because he's put me in great positions to go out in the field and be successful. So it's great to have a man like that in the building, to be a senior consultant or whatever that position is he's getting. But he has a lot of respect, a lot of he got a lot of smartness in his head, man. So Jalen is obviously getting some real good knowledge from him.
Go ahead, Ruben, and then Jeff Skaversky.
Hey, DeSean, at 33 years old and in your, 13th year now, a lot of people aren't going to have the same expectations of you as when you were in your prime. But in your mind, how good can you still be? Yeah, man, good question. I feel like, like you said, 33 years old in the league, 13 years in, the expectation level, might drop. It might, people might not see me as a vocal guy, but one thing I can say is the one and only, or not the one and only because I played in 3 games last year, but the other 2 was cut short. But the one game I did play in last year, I think whoever was watching that game knows what DeSean Jackson could still do. So once again, staying healthy is a big key to this. So regardless, the naysayers, the doubters, the non-believers, I live for that, man. My whole career I've always, been against the odds. So, I look forward to this year, but I ain't gonna speak too much. I'm gonna show it on Sunday. I know what I'm capable of doing, and I got a lot of juice left in me. So for everybody sitting at home, get your popcorn ready and get ready for Sunday.
We have time for a couple more, so we'll do Jeff and then Dave Zingaro.
Hey, DeSean, kind of feeding off that last question, we saw a glimpse of it, obviously, in that Eagles game against the Redskins last year. You had the 2 touchdowns of 50 yards. How electric do you think this tandem of you and Carson can be? We only saw a glimpse of it last year. Now that you're healthy, do you think that we're going to see a lot of that this year, and there's that electricity, that electric offense?
Yeah, man, we've been, training hard, man. Unfortunately, with, COVID and, the restrictions from us being in the building in the off season was very tough on us. But, since we've been back, July 27th or whatever the date was, since we've been back, man, we've been putting in some great work. So, we all feel good, man, in this building, man. We feel like we're capable of doing, man. We have a lot to go out there and prove and earn. And, the biggest thing is we building trust every day. When we go out in the field, we work hard, we put it in. And, that speaks for, our mentality and what our mindset is here because, one thing Doug, presents on us is to go out there and earn it. You got to earn your respect. You got to earn your trust. And, it's not going to be given to us. So, we like our odds. We feel like, day one, we got some heavy hitters on this squad. We got some big-time names. And, a lot of old guys, a lot of veteran guys are here that we just kind of want to rub off to these young guys and let them know what Philadelphia Eagles football is all about. So, we look forward to a great long-haul season. And, all we can do is go 1-0 every week, and that's all we can worry about is the Washington football team.
Go ahead, Dave, and then we're going to get Fletcher in here.
Hey, DeSean, Jalen Reagor, a first-round pick, a lot of high expectations around him. What have you seen from him so far, and what can you teach him?
Oh, man, Jalen, man, he's interesting cat, man. He's a young guy with a lot of confidence, man. Since day one, I saw his confidence level, and he came in nothing was too big for him. You know, he came in, he earned his respect. He's put in the work, and he's made plays. So, you know, I see a lot of upside to him. You know, one thing I can tell you about him, he got heart and he got confidence. So, a lot of the other stuff, man, we can figure that out later. You know, you give me heart, you give me effort, and you know, dedication. You know, we can work on everything else. So, I think he has all the right tools, and you know, it's good to, you know, get him back out there hopefully this week if his you know, shoulder holds up to it, because you know, obviously having more weapons out there is better for Carson and better for our team. So the more weapons, the more the defense is gonna have to worry about us. So you know, appreciate it and look forward to Sunday.